All right, so Stephen A is being roasted online because he doesn't really identify with Democrats, which actually isn't a bad thing until you ask him more questions. All right, here it is.
Names of 3 people in your head right now that you'd vote for president.
You won't like it. You won't like it.
I don't care.
I'd vote for Wes Moore, governor of Maryland. I'd vote for Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I'd vote for Marco Rubio.
Okay. Talk about, what is it about Marco?
He's an adult in the room. There is no questioning his qualifications for the job.
If it's Marco and anyone other than Wes and Josh, you vote for Marco over the Democrat?
Yes.
Over Newsom?
Yes.
Over Kamala?
Yes. I'd vote for Marco Rubio over anybody that's out there right now other than Wes Moore or Josh Shapiro. I will say this. I am in no way identifying myself with today's Democratic Party. When I'm talking about Democrat, I'm talking about me being a moderate. I'm talking about the Democrats that existed in the 80s and the 90s, the Clinton Democrats and stuff like that. I'm not talking about this strong progressive left, with some of the nonsense that they've spewed and the positions that they've taken. Oh no, if I were to ever run for office, I wouldn't listen to them at all. I wouldn't take that nonsense from them one bit. So let's say, for example, when you had folks within the Democratic Party on the progressive side talking about transgender, obviously that wasn't quote unquote their focal point, but it was something that the GOP was able to market in a fashion that would favor them. But the bottom line is this. What the hell are you doing talking about less than 1% of the population like it's a very, very serious issue? When 0.6% of the population, which was the black community, has been giving you more than 80% of its vote since the 1960s. How dare you do that? How dare you come at us with that stuff?
How dare you, Stephen A? How dare you? How dare you be a black man in America, and in order to make your point, you have to degrade the authentically held position of individuals who have been historically othered, just like black folk have. How dare you? You don't have enough gravitas in your own political argument and advocacy of self, that in order to make your point, you can't land it without landing it on the top of the heads of folks who should be allied with progression rather than distanced. Here's what Hannity didn't ask you, that if you ever became brave enough to come on my show, I will. Why? Why would you vote for Rubio? Tell me the policies that you support. Why would you run for president? What are the policies? Why do you think Republicans branded Democrats who believed in a better tomorrow as radical? Why do you think they did that? Because they were being effective, dear brother. And here you come, you fell for it. You literally go on national television, debate your position without an actual debate opponent. You just talk ish about them. You debate your position. You blame Democrats for allowing Republicans to take, as you said, 1%, a 1% issue and make it into this big issue. But sir, you spent your time on national television talking about the same issue yourself. The same issue that you said was unimportant and that you would not listen to them. Every smart human being knows that you can learn something from everybody. Doesn't matter if the person is unsheltered. Doesn't matter what mistakes they made. Don't matter if they've been in prison. If you don't realize the great connection of humanity and that every interaction is an opportunity for learning, sir, you're not ready. You're Trump light. And it's unfortunate because you do have capacity, but capacity has to be built out. Policy is still important. Policy is important. Rhetoric, I'm tired of it. So are a lot of other people. Sir, once again, you're invited to come on the bullpen anytime. All right, put it at full mast. The internet is roasting Stephen A. over his latest comments about the Democratic Party. Matthew Cherry wrote, quote, "Run as the Republican you are," end quote. George M. Johnson wrote, quote, "And your hairline doesn't identify with your forehead, so this tracks honestly." I'm just telling you what people said, okay? This poster wrote, quote, "Run as a Republican, big bro. Let's see you poll at 0.3%. That's how they do black folks in the Republican primary. Facts. Another poster wrote, "From now on, when he speaks, I want the hairline to slide back a half an inch." This content creator I came across roasted him the best. It's priceless. Here it is.
Black people don't like me. I'm from Hollis, Queens, bro. I'm from the streets of New York City. I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi. All of them are my boys. My bros. I'm an ambassador for HBCU Week. I was raised by 5 black women. I got 9 nieces, 2 daughters. I got 3 female pets. My Range Rover got a black female name, Tamika. What you mean black people don't like me, Joy? Everybody black I know. I don't know nobody but black people. And black people don't like me, you sure? Are you sure about that? I cook with Crisco. I put an unearned S on everything. Kroger's, Nordstrom's, Shipley's. That's where it don't belong. Black people don't like me. Black people love me, Joy. Think about that next time.
Very talented content creator there. So to Stephen A., brother, you love black women, as you say. Black women are losing under this administration. Unemployment is trending higher for black women than it has ever in modern history. Workplace discrimination has increased against black women. Black women that have advanced degrees are no longer able to seek and obtain the same level of executive leadership in positions of both public trust, institutional corporations, or federal government. The largest employer of black people in the United States is the federal government, which, by the way, Trump gutted. The only governmental agency where black people were overrepresented based on the demographic population. And this is the only place where black folk are overrepresented. Department of Education. Why? Because black folk, we were taught, if you get your education, you can have a middle class career. So black folk lose it. That's why I challenge you to talk policy rather than personality, dear brother. All right, Yasmin, thoughts?
Yeah, so he started off saying that he would rather vote for Marco Rubio, but he never really said what he liked about Marco Rubio. He just said that Marco Rubio is the adult in the room, and I don't even know what that means. But also, he's nostalgic.
He's an adult in real life, too. He's an adult in real life.
Yeah, I don't understand what the point of that comment was, especially then to just not elaborate at all on what that means. But then he went on to say that he's nostalgic for the Clinton era Democrats, right? And they're not here anymore. I don't understand why he's nostalgic. They are still there. They're still running the party. They are still blocking progressive candidates across the country. They're still making promises to the American people that they have no intention of keeping. So much so that so many voters across this country right now, the largest contingency of voters is independent voters because people have become so disillusioned with both parties, right? They see what the Republicans are doing and they see that the Democrats are doing nothing to stop them. At best, you'll get, some outrage from Democrats on the Congress floor, but really they're not trying to do anything. Everything going on with Iran right now, where are the Democrats? What are they doing? They're not trying to stop any of it. So you are absolutely right, though, Doc. His reasoning for not supporting Democrats is that they're overly concerned with such a small contingent of the population, which is horrible. He's trying to frame it as something that is reasonable and balanced, but it is horrible that he's mad that people are defending a group that right now is very marginalized and is being attacked. That is why there's so much focus on them right now, is because we have to defend and protect them because they're actively being attacked by people. Also, the Democrats, even progressives, I'm sure, would much rather not have to talk about transgender people as much as we do because we wish that they weren't being attacked as hard as they are. But the nature of progressivism is that you have to stand up for the underdog. And right now, they are very much the underdog. And I don't blame Black people for being disappointed with the Democratic Party. There are plenty of reasons why I would imagine they would be. But he's not even mad at the classic defunct Democratic Party that is actually in power, the ones who are actually tokenizing marginalized communities, who take their votes for granted. They've been doing this for years and now it's finally starting to catch up with them. But Stephen A. Smith isn't mad about that. He's mad about the progressives for some reason, not for any of our beliefs or policies. He's just mad that the progressives of all people don't stand up enough for Black people, I guess. It's us. The progressives are the problem, not the actual Democratic Party. It's just, the logic makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's hella ironic.
Yeah.
Because as he cites demographics and 1%, that same argument was made by white bigots against giving rights, freedom of access, mobility to Black people because they made up a minority of the American population, thus the expressive term. The same argument of radical was made against Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself. And now they're utilizing that term radical against progressive voices. It is a badge of honor because they're dumb enough to think it's an insult.